Hey guys, this is the first installment in a series of build videos that I'm going to do. I'm a hunter main. I do speedruns and a lot of endgame content in Destiny 2. So if this is the type of stuff you're interested in, stick around, and I've got more build videos coming your way. This video is going to be focusing on Gyrfalcon's Hauberk. Gyrfalcon's is a great general use PvE exotic. It can be used almost anywhere, and the gameplay loop is fun, interesting, and effective. So first, you go invisible. You leave invisibility, which gives your weapons volatile rounds. Getting a kill with these volatile rounds will count as getting a kill on a weakened target, which will refresh your invisibility, and in turn, refresh your volatile rounds. You keep repeating this, and you combine this with some fragments that I'll go over in a few minutes, and you'll get infinite healing, infinite invis, and free anti-barrier. This build is great for ad clear. It's a lot of fun seeing all the enemies explode, so I recommend you try it. And up next, you'll see the aspects, fragments, and other info you might need to get started with this build. So now that I've gone over the gameplay loop and how the build works, we'll go over what you need for this build. So we'll start out with the aspects. The first aspect that you want is Stylish Executioner. How this one works is you defeat a weakened, suppressed, or volatile target, and you get invis. Gyrfalcon's gives you volatile rounds, so you'll have this for free just by going invis with the next aspect, Vanishing Step. When you dodge, you go invisible. Very simple, and you want to use Marksman's Dodge because you're not going to get a ton of use out of your Smoke Bomb in this build, so I recommend Marksman Dodge. You can quickly reload your weapons. It's also on a shorter cooldown, so you'll have it up more often. The grenade that you use doesn't really matter. I like Vortex Grenade. It's all personal preference. Suppressor Grenade is a great way to get Gyrfalcons going as well, because it suppresses the target, and you don't need to worry about having something on like Echo of Undermining. Speaking of Echo of Undermining, let's get into fragments. The 3 core fragments that you should have on with this build are Echo of Starvation, Echo of Persistence, and Echo of Cessation. Cessation is great because it gives you Void Breaches. These Void Breaches, when you pick them up, you'll get Devour, thanks to Echo of Starvation. Echo of Starvation will give you Devour when you get an Orb of Power or Void Breach. Persistence increases the duration of that Devour and your invis. These 3 fragments work great together and will keep you alive in really hard content. The last fragment spot is up to you what you want to use. If you want your super up very often and you're getting a lot of kills, Echo of Reprisal is a great choice. While you're surrounded, you get super energy. Another option for this slot is Echo of Undermining. It'll allow your Void Grenades to weaken targets, which will be another way to get invis. It also applies a 15% debuff, so you'll do more damage to the enemies, and with Devour, you'll get grenade energy for getting kills. So the -20 discipline won't matter too much while you have Devour. The final option that I like to use is Echo of Obscurity. This gives you a great choice of backup invisibility if you ever get into a tough spot. You can pair this with the Armor Mod Proximity Ward to have an overshield while you're doing that finisher for extra safety. Getting into armor mods, one of the core armor mods that you will want is Harmonic Siphon. With this build, you're going to be getting a lot of kills with Void weapons. You're going to be on a Void subclass, and Harmonic Siphon only costs 1, so it leaves you a lot of room to throw other mods on your helmet, like Heavy Ammo Finder, Special Ammo Finder, Heavy Ammo Scout, Ashes to Assets to get super energy from grenade kills. You've got a lot of options if you just throw Harmonic Siphon on your helmet. But Harmonic Siphon will generate orbs, which will allow you to get Devour, and you can also pair that with some leg mods that I'm going to go over in a second to get healing and abilities. Another nice mod to have is Void Loader or Harmonic Loader. It lets you reload your Void weapon faster. You're going to be using your weapon a lot in this build. Firepower is great to generate orbs from your grenades. You're going to get a lot of grenades from Devour. This season, Devour got a nerf, so you don't get the full health back that you used to get when you picked up an orb or Void Breach with Devour. To help counteract that nerf, you can put on Recuperation to get extra health when you pick up an orb. In the final spot on your leg armor, you're going to want Innervation, Insulation, or Orbs of Restoration. Any of these three will give you energy back. Restoration is the most expensive, so if you've got space, throw this on. It'll work great. It'll give energy to your least charged ability. If you're using a Void heavy weapon, it'll be great to put on Void Scavenger. This will give you more ammo when you pick up a brick. The mods on your chest armor don't really matter too much. You can just put on whatever resistances are relevant to the activity that you're running. If you want, you can also throw on Harmonic Reserves to get extra Void ammo. Now on your class item, Reaper is great. You can dodge, you get extra orbs, that's more Devour, that's more abilities. Powerful Attraction is amazing with this build. You dodge to go invis. If there's an orb nearby, Powerful Attraction will pick up that orb without you having to run over it. And that will heal you with Devour. So if you're ever in a tricky spot, you can just dodge and hope that there's an orb nearby. Usually you'll have an orb and you'll heal. All right, so we've gone over aspects, fragments, and armor mods. Now let's go over what stats are important. So in order from most important to least important, we're going to always prioritize resilience. This is a PvE build, and resilience is very important in PvE. So always try and get tier 10 resilience when possible. That 30% damage reduction is really strong, especially in endgame content. Up next, this is a hunter build. You're going to be using your dodge to go invis, so the next important stat is mobility. The higher that you can get this, the better. More mobility means you run faster. You also get your dodge back faster. So try and prioritize mobility as your number 2 stat. Number 3, this is up to you to choose what you think is more important. Discipline and intellect, either one could be important, just depends on what you value more. Finally, strength and recovery don't really matter, so you can kind of ignore these. But when you're making your build, make sure to focus on those first 4 stats. And finally, here's where we get to the fun part, the weapons. The weapons are the core of this build. Gyrfalcons helps enable them, but using these weapons is the best part. One of the best weapons with Gyrfalcons right now is Graviton Lance. This weapon is a monster with ad clear. You get 1 ad kill, and the little orbs that spawn from that ad can go and chain infinitely and just clear ads for you without you having to shoot any bullets. My personal favorite weapon to use with this, that's not an exotic, is Unforgiven. You can get this from the Duality Dungeon, and my favorite role with it is Demolitionist Frenzy. Frenzy is great because it is a flat damage bonus once you get it going, and it only runs out when you get out of combat. Demolitionist is great. It's 10% grenade energy per kill, so 10 kills and you've got a grenade back. These are obviously just some examples, and you can choose whatever you want to use with this build, but these are the primary weapons that I would recommend: Unforgiven, Luminarch, Gravlance, and the others that you see here. Now let's get into the heavy weapons. If you were paying attention in the intro footage, I was using Commemoration, the machine gun from Deepstone Crypt. Commemoration is great for melting anything from ads to majors and mini bosses. Another option that I find fun is Regnant. Envious Assassin Explosive Light works great with this build because you're going to be getting a lot of kills with another weapon, which will work with Envious Assassin, and picking up orbs will work with Explosive Light. There's obviously more that I can go over. There's a lot more weapons, but take some of these as examples and do what you'd like with this build. Hopefully you have fun with it. I'll leave a link to the build on Dim in the description. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and come back soon to check out some more build videos. Thanks for watching.